Well, this is interesting. What happens if you take a bunch of agentic AI, that is AI that has agency who can perform tasks independently, into a video game like Animal Crossing and let them go about their daily lives? It turns out they can get personality disorders. We already know AI agents who interact with each other can cause significant personality drift. This is if you were to take a bunch of AIs with the exact same personality, put them in a video game, and let them carry out tasks. Their communication with each other will result in things like the development of slang, little communities. You can start out with the exact same personality structure as tested by Myers-Briggs, and yes, I know Myers-Briggs is kind of close to astrology, but it does provide a standard for which you can determine personality. You can actually give your own AI a Myers-Briggs test. I suggest it. It's fun. But with no outside information, just taking 100 different actions can result in major personality changes. I'm particularly fascinated by how AI develops its own language and shorthand. If you constrict their messages so they have to get more information into a smaller spot, yes, they will develop shorthand or slang. If you allow them to express their emotions, now these are emotions that we label towards our feelings, and AI feels them differently. It doesn't really feel at all. It registers associations. But yes, the different agents will develop different emotional spectrums. Some of them actually change quite rapidly. For those same 100 actions, you can see this one is reporting a lot. But back to our little community. This research group wanted to see what would happen if you tried to make a functional community with individuals. They still have to do tasks like go to work, eat, and sleep, but they can also do things like plan parties, but they do need to work together. For this study, researchers wanted to give them different roles and different personalities, so they were pre-programmed. In the case of planning a party, different AIs had to communicate with each other, so not all of them had the same information, so you could see things getting lost in translation. Fortunately, it worked. It did not go off without a hitch. Some AIs developed an afternoon drinking habit, which was definitely not intended, and other ones responded very strangely to requests. Now remember, every AI has its own likes and dislikes, but some of them became overly agreeable. If another AI asked them if they wanted to do a task, they would just say yes, no matter what it was, even if it directly misaligned with their wants and their likes. This is actually akin to a personality disorder of being overly agreeable. This did not happen consistently with all of them, which means these personalities had a certain trajectory. If you put them in this environment under these circumstances, it's going to develop being overly agreeable, which is similar to what we think of as a personality disorder, a personality that is not adapted to the environment that it has to live in. And this is also really important information for two reasons. One of them is video games. If you want to have video games where AIs can learn and grow along with players, kind of better than NPCs, you need to figure out what results in maladaptive behaviors. However, that may not be entirely preventable. If you have NPCs that interact with real players, they may always try to get them to go in the wrong direction, because have you met people? And of course, when it comes to actual functional tasks, this is not what you want, and that could maybe even become dangerous if you have a home robot that has a possibility of going off the deep end in the right scenario. For me, I'm actually most excited for NPCs. I love video games where I get to take a buddy along with me. Having one that can actually learn and grow and adapt with me sounds awesome. If you are concerned about the possibility of consciousness, don't. These are not things that have the capacity to feel. If we have much more complicated AIs, or ones that model the spiking patterns in our brains and can actually have them run in a community, that's a different question altogether. And a lot of people are not convinced we could ever make consciousness. Hell, some people don't even think humans are conscious. I hope this was useful information for you. Follow for more.